Hello, we are live. And by we, I mean me, but I use we a lot. I've realized that recently. But hello, we are getting cozy here. It is the first Creative Commons of the year. I don't know if I'm actually ready. I think I'm still mentally sluggish from holidays and everything that's gone on over the past couple weeks. But we are going to try, because that's all we can really do is try to be productive, create something, and enjoy our time together. Hey Jess, welcome, firsties. Not only are you first to Creative Commons, it's the first Creative Commons of the year, so you get double firsties. Firsties. How are you doing? Happy New Year. I guess anything new and exciting going on? Since I guess did we talk a few days ago? Yeah, in the New Year's Eve time. Yeah. I feel like there must be a full moon or something, because like everything that can go wrong has been going on the past couple days, so I'm just like mentally exhausted. But I've decided to get some writing done today, kind of creep up on my word count for book 3, since I feel like that's really my priority this year, is getting book 3 out to you guys. So if nothing else, I have to work on book 3, which I'm excited about, but at the same time, sluggish brain. So we are going to be doing quite a few sprints tonight. Not sure what time Stephanie will be here. I know she's running some errands and running late, but we got this. We got this. Vampires are a thing? Question mark. The indie book that I am going through right now is sadly written very beautifully. Like the descriptions are very nice. It has a good cadence to it. And the history, whether it's actually based on real history or not, I feel is very interesting. And then the characters are just dumb. It's a power fantasy and also like a very odd romantic. I don't even want to say fantasy. It gets odd. But yeah, we'll hear more about that relatively soon. Actually, no, because I have to finish the little series it has before I can review it. But doing that, reading Reflection again. I'm curious to see if my ranking for it changes, because when I ranked it initially, I think it was more mid-range for me, even though like several other people have it in their like top 3 Twisted Tales. So we're gonna see if I still feel the same way since with this reread, which I first listened to it as an audiobook, and I feel like maybe the reason why everybody else likes it is they must have caught on to something that I just didn't catch while listening to it, and I like just missed out on some details. So I'm reading it. I'm only this far, like chapter 5. First reread of the year. So there's that going on. Otherwise, yeah, we're doing some writing. Very slowly. Very slowly. Oh. I wonder what it's going to take to get that to the sequel. I don't know. But so far I've written 66 words today in the past 10 minutes. Doing good. We're doing good. Okay. Probably going to give a few more minutes to see if anybody straggles in. I know it was kind of impromptu for the timing, and I meant to do it yesterday, but I worked later and just, it was not going to happen. So at least now we have plenty of time today to do as many sprints as we need to. Yeah, so we'll give it a couple minutes, see if anybody straggles in, and then we'll start around 10 after. Howdy, Snazzy, how you doing? Happy New Year. What's new? Technically, it's only been a few days since we've all talked, but it's, hey, how you doing? What's up, Ian? I see we got a new icon for the new year now that Christmas is over. Always changing it. Always changing it. How are you? What's going on? What do we got planned for the year, for the night? I got my butt kicked at work today and I can use some sprints. Excellent. I also feel that same way about work the past few days. So I could just use some, like you guys, just some casual social hangout where I don't have to sell you anything. That'd be great. That'd be great. And also getting work done. Yes, I need sprints. I need sprints. I've been putting it off. I may or may not have started playing Mass Effect again. So problem. Like, I wanted January to be like my strong, productive start of the year, and so far it's been a trickle because like my husband was off for a couple days, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with him because I haven't been able to see him Sunday through Friday pretty much for the past 2 months. Which is, we're trying to balance our lives, right? So we're hanging out. But I had plans to like write 1,000 words every night to really like stay ahead of my word goal and to read for at least an hour. And so far I've put in 6 or so hours in Mass Effect and I read 50 pages, but I've not written more than 400 words this month yet. So we have some catching up to do. We're gonna do that tonight. As you can see, I got my little word county tracker going. Were you not around on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day for those streams? I feel like you were, but like we're just all like a regular thing. So I don't know what day it is, but hey, hope you have had a good New Year's celebration and are ready to jump in. I have not even made my like 2023 goals video yet. That was kind of because my phone fell into the can of paint and I could not use it and had to get a new phone, so I couldn't film anything, but I'm still not done that. Maybe I will film a quick TikTok one over the sprint, but I'm gonna get some writing done first. So we're gonna sprint in just a minute here. I'm gonna get the banner ready. Oh, okay. Well, that's fun. I always wonder if like New Year's is a good time to travel or not. Because like, is everybody doing it or is everybody kind of chill? Yes, this is what I get for trying to be helpful. Because I put my phone in my hoodie pouch instead of my pockets. And I ended up taking over for my dad. He was helping us paint the basement floor. And I had to like lean over to get behind the washer and dryer. And I heard a plunk. But I did not know it, like it didn't sound like it was close to me. I thought it was him and my brother somewhere else in the basement. So I was like, whatever. Finish my corner. Start looking for my phone, not upstairs, not downstairs, not in the garage, not in the garbage. Retracing my steps, and eventually I come back to the can of paint 30 minutes later for the record. And I pick it up and I just shake it and it goes dum, dum. And just wrecked. My brother called it just so like we were sure. And its dying breath was the Mario 8-bit theme song. before we fished it out with 2 stirring sticks. So yes, I got to experience being phoneless for about a week before my new phone came in, because that thing was dead. It was not coming back. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. So next time I have to paint, the phone is staying upstairs. Sorry, nobody can call me. Yeah, it was a thing. It was an ordeal, but we survived it. So now it's funny to look back and talk about it. Now it's, you know, hilarious and stupid because it's, you know, a few $100s of a mistake, but what are you gonna do? So with that, now let's jump into a sprint, kind of warm up. It's about 20 minutes. We maybe lost a minute or two. But we'll get set up for the night. I'm gonna get some writing in. If you guys need to get your projects set up or just your brains in order, feel free to do that during this sprint. Always make sure you have a liquid to drink, preferably to drink. Stay hydrated, and let's jump into the sprint. Yeah, funny, nah, that's over. Hey Phoenix, welcome. You're just in time for the first sprint, so if you've got like a box to unpack or something, go get it. We're getting warmed up, and we'll be back at the half hour. So see you guys in a few. And go. Do 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 do. We are back from our first sprint. Let's see what progress we did here. Click, click, click on all the things. There we go. Okay, so we got a little chunk of words. We got some words. Nope, don't jump. Okay, we got a little bit more words than I thought. I think I stopped there. We got 519 words that sprint. Very nice. So my document total is 81,362. We're a third towards our goal today, which is probably just the minimum goal. We're on our way. Sweet, yeah. Wiggle, wiggle, zoom, zoom. Music has magic in it. I tried a different music thing this time, and Q is here. It's called Into Space. So I blame Mass Effect for that one. But we're trying Into Space, and you're also writing. Awesome. Snazzy ate Taco Bell, took the trash out, started laundry, cleaned up dog mess. So you did all the things. Listening to A Dark Night in Aurora about the guy who shot all the people in a theater in Colorado. Wasn't that relatively recent?
A few years ago.
That's relative.
Several years. It was for the Dark Knight comes out. Dark Knight Rises. Something. That's whenever that movie came out.
Sell some chai, unpacked 2 boxes, and had figured out where to put a few things still. You have a whole house, and you can rearrange it as many ways as you want. Like you can make your living room your dining room all of a sudden and turn it into a book study as well. It has been thought. It has not happened. It has been a thought. Snazzy says, hey!
Hello! I know.
Well, we're all just here missing Taco Bell.
Yeah, I work near that theater now.
Oh.
Because I work in Aurora.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. Where I work, it's the border of Denver, Aurora. It's out there, but yep. Mm-hmm. I know that theater. Oh, we're gonna.
Yeah. Got a whole house, but very little storage.
So poopy today.
So, like closet space, you mean? Do you have an attic / basement / I think you said you have a shed or a garage, but the landlord was putting their stuff in it. Been on a Taco Bell binge. Had it for dinner the past 3 nights. Oh.
I know that happens.
Have you gotten the same thing every night?
I get the same thing every time I go there.
Which is?
Quesadilla.
Just a quesadilla?
I can't eat much anymore.
True, but like... I feel like you can make a quesadilla like tortilla cheese.
It's different. It hits different when it's Taco Bell quesadilla.
It's that taco crap.
But I don't really like Mexican food very much. A lot of the menu I'm not a fan of. So I'm not a huge Mexican food eater.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Also have a house with very little storage. So we must be talking closets and stuff. I'd say whoever designed this house did not plan for like where like your broom closet, like something like that, or in general, the design of the kitchen is flawed.
Agreed.
So flawed. I have the Taco Bell seasoning kit and shell so I can make it myself, but the closest Taco Bell is over 60 miles away. Stop living in the middle of nowhere.
And legit, making it at home is more expensive. Like, when you consider the price of like beef and cheese and everything that you need to make a quesadilla, plus the purchase of a quesadilla maker, like, I'll spend $7 for a quesadilla one time every once in a while, then make it at home.
But think of how many quesadillas you can make. So,
but I can't eat much.
Get a pack of burrito. Well, you have one for every day of the week.
No, I go back fast.
8-pack of burritos.
You pooping again? What are you doing? What is your plan here?
Same thing. Two soft taco supremes with extra sour cream.
Yeah, sour cream. Gross. Gross.
Snazzy does like Mexican food and Taco Bell, but they're definitely different things.
They are different things. Yes, Taco Bell is not actually Mexican. I agree. But in general, Mexican cuisine, whatever puts itself under that cuisine category, I've never been a fan of. It's something, it's not like I don't like spicy food, because I do like spicy food. It's a different kind of spice. It feels a lot more oily. There's a lot of oil when you're making Mexican food.
Oh, there's so much grease. Yeah.
So much grease, and it makes me sick. A lot of tomato stuff. I'm not a huge tomato person. Even when I have like regular pasta, I can't have much tomato because it just makes me sick. For some reason, maybe I'm allergic, who knows. And beans. I fucking hate beans.
Or the acid in it could do it.
Yeah. It's just not, it's not my cuisine, which is really hard living in Colorado because everyone wants to always go out for fucking margaritas or something in a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, can we go somewhere else?
I enjoy several things that would fall under Mexican food, but the category of like Mexican food, Italian food, and depending on what kind of Chinese food fall under the I can make this cheaper at home thing, so I'm not going to spend $10 for a plate. Even though it becomes, like now we have 3 pounds of tacos because somebody thought, yeah, there's 3 of us, we should make a pound of meat for each of us.
No.
When it's like, we don't get through a pound of meat, just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And this is that person now.
Yeah.
2 small closets and a garage, but the owners use most of the space. Ooh, small closets. Yeah. Taco Bell is not Mexican. The cost of beef is why I haven't made any yet.
Yeah.
Beef has gone up, bro.
It really has.
Yeah, we still mostly just get chicken breast. It's still, I think it got a little expensive, more expensive, but still it's closer to its price. Don't have broom closets or coat closets or anything like that. Attic is mostly taken up by my HVAC and ducts. Bedroom closet is the width of a door and as deep as a hanger. What is this place? Who was this? Sorry, not, I was gonna say, was this the Helps house? Like, they didn't get no space? That, like, who even designs that? Where you don't have a closet, except for that. You can't even hide a body. You can't even hide a body.
Oh.
I think we're all kind of craving tacos and Crunchwrap Supremes right now. Cheesy Gordita Crunch.
Not.
On the other hand, tomatoes. Snazzy loves tomatoes and grease.
And grease.
And grease.
Nope. Nope.
Okay. So all there is an authentic Mexican restaurant, but it's expensive because it's authentic. So if you want Mexican, you make it at home. Yeah. It's one of those things. It definitely sounds like this old house, small house. Like, but if it's just the 2 of you, it might be like a good size. Like, I feel like our house is bigger than what we would need in the long run, since only having fur babies. But when you have the space, you fill it. So unless somebody lets me get rid of furniture, we're trying to get rid of our couch for a while. It's not working. Kitchen has no counter space, same. And very little cabinet space. We have a lot of, I feel like we have a lot of cabinets, but like the orientation of them is very inconvenient. Like they have, of course, like your sink, then your corner cabinet, but it's like a tiny little sliver of a door, and it's all the way down the depth of the oven. So it's like, so we can't put anything down there really. But not enough, like, they're all really narrow cabinets, so we can't even put appliances in them because they're so narrow. So all of our like appliances are in the basement. We're in the garage right now because nothing's in the basement. Very few electrical. Yep, we only got the 2. I mean, in the kitchen. We got 2 in the kitchen, but one is like not helpful. Hey, remodel the kitchen. Oh, the only outlets in the kitchen are behind the fridge and stove. Well, what else? I mean, you have a microwave? Is that in an outlet? Decent pantry, so I'm not completely... Oh yeah, pantries are nice if you have a pantry. 40 style cabinets and sink. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Fine, you're making me feel better about my house, guys. Gosh. Gosh. So what are you up to tonight?
Me?
Yeah, you just came in. I see a dinosaur pillow and... Yeah, no, it's the Stego.
Oh, my Stego from Ian. I had that a while ago.
I know, but I haven't seen it like out.
Right. Well, that's because my house is perfectly clean. Like, it's beautiful. Which means when I come home, I don't have to think about, oh, I need to clean this before I can do anything. I can just do my shit. It's really nice. I'm really excited. I would knock on wood though, because I'm like, okay, no dog sitting this weekend. In theory, my parents haven't asked me to come over and do anything. Will I be left alone?
Could it be?
No, I probably am going to go out and meet one person, but that might be the extent. So it would be very exciting. But what I am working on, if you would care to peruse what's been infecting my brain for several days now, I'm going to share with you. Well, first we'll go to this page.
We do have microwave, air fryer, Instapot, electric tea kettle, bread maker. So where are you plugging them in then? What happened? Or do you explain?
Switch them out. All right, y'all.
What is this?
This is my new book tracker.
Oh.
I have been compiling.
All right, let's give it its full glory.
Now here's here's the tour. Are you ready for the tour? So this is what I've already read this month so far. We're already 4 for 4. I have drop downs for all the months here. We have their main publisher here, and it's the imprint of the bigger ones, or if it's self-published or something. The format that I read it in, it's page count, which is highlighted, the hour count, the book length, the average book length here, what type of format it is, so anthology, novel, and stuff. We've got the publication year, also color-coded, based on when I should have read it. So if I type in 2022, oh, it didn't do it. No, oh no, there it goes. Okay, good, there it is. Or if I do 2023, it's green.
Jeez.
Right. I have the year I got it, if I can remember. I'm trying to remember when I bought this Anne of Green Gables box set, but I can't find a trace of it. The genres, I've decided this year to be hyper specific about my genres. So not just saying fantasy, I'm like, is it a high fantasy, a low fantasy, an urban fantasy, a hard sci-fi, dystopian fantasy, contemporary romance, contemporary literary, historical. So I'm being super hyper specific, okay? Because we all know my main genre is going to be fantasy anyway.
Fair.
We've got read from before, debut, or a new to me author. We've got obviously the age category, young adult, middle grade, and adult. Where I acquired it from, if I can remember. So like, I don't know where I got How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. Don't remember. But I know I got that box set from Book Outlet. I just can't find it.
Wasn't it a gift?
How the King of Elfhame? I don't think I got that as a gift.
Okay.
I didn't get that one as a gift.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just confuse you and chop things out.
Who knows? But I have to go back into like my old YouTube hauls and see where I got that from. Because my YouTube hauls will tell me, but then I stopped doing hauls. So, yeah. Series and stuff. My series, standalone companions, or interludes. It's like those 0.5 books are interludes. It'll mark if I began, if I'm in progress, or if I've completed it. My rating, I didn't do a weighted system because I feel like I don't need one. For me, okay. I'm fine. I can assign a book 1 through 5. We have the date, started and finished. It'll calculate. It does it for itself. The audiobook narrators, LGBTQ rep. It'll have if it's a main side or non-prominent character, like if it's mentioned. And then what specific one is mentioned or is in there. Same with disability.
There's more.
There's so much more, honey. There's so much. This is where it ends. Got all these right. We have the BIPOC authors as well. If I can narrow down what, specifically, I will attempt to, but some people don't put that on the internet. So like Evelyn Skye, I know Evelyn Skye is Asian, but there's no information on what ethnicity she is. So I can just put Asian. I searched. And if it's indie or self-pubbed, I'll mark it there. The protagonist's main gender, so I have some combos in here. That's why it says man and woman, because there's multiple protagonists. The nationality, and then the book setting. Now, here's the fun thing. Are you ready for the fun stuff?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Oh, there's so much. You're not even ready. All right, so all this information here gets plugged into the data.
Oh, boy.
So we have our month breakdown, our pages per month, our audiobook per month, the format, the publisher, the parent publisher, the average page count, also the total of indies is right here. This will calculate. The book style, the publication year, target audience, genres, author status, acquisition year, acquired from where, series or standalone, the star rating, days spent reading, audio. It says 1 on this because it just calculated all the blank spaces. I gotta figure out how to fix that. But anyway, the narrators are there. Here's all the reps. And look at my map!
There's a map.
It plugs the setting of the book. It plugs it into a map!
So what if it's a fantasy setting?
So the fantasies are calculated separate. So this is just basically for real world mapping. That's what that is. Now, that's not the end.
Oh, Lord.
I still haven't created everything. I am going to create monthly data, but I haven't done that yet. What I'm currently working on is the series tracker. So here's my series tracker. So I write the series title, the author, all the books in that series, if I still need to purchase them, if they're currently published, if I own any, and if I've read any. And this baby here calculates into the graph so I can see my completion graph. If I complete the series, it gets highlighted green. If it's complete up to publication, it gets highlighted purple. And if I DNF the series, it gets highlighted yellow.
Oh.
And I have to individually format that into all of these. But
I feel like Olivia Atwater has a fourth book.
What?
I feel like Olivia Atwater had a fourth book in the.
She has interludes. There's Lord Sorcier.
Oh, okay.
Which suddenly they're not available.
Unless they got merged into the published ones.
Where are you going? She just flew there and back. What are you doing?
Nobody can see you except me.
Hi. Okay. Hello. Where are you going?
Did anybody else just feel wiped out looking at all that? Like, what am I doing with my life?
Okay, what's the matter? What's the matter?
Hey, Mr. Blandis. Yeah, you just came in on the spirit of Q.
Hi.
For someone who is all chaos.
As per, I know, right? As a question, the Olivia Atwater. Yeah, she did have a new book come out, but it's not in the series.
I'm wondering if her interludes got put into.
It's a completely different book.
But you know what I'm saying?
That came out. That's
I'm just speculating, since she got traditionally published and her book was thicker. What if the interlude is now?
Either way, they don't count in the series for me, at least. So.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's all my. Look, I've read so much of Green Gables, and so little of Temeraire. But yeah, so I was just working on this one. So I was trying to research if Tears of Price has more, which I think we have 4 and 5 based on
Twisted Tales.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Do it now.
I'm not done. I have to input all of them, so I'm just one by one doing that. Eventually, I'll do ones for this will be book purchases, releases, the owned books. I'm going to import the whole thing into this. So I have a lot of tabs to work on, but this is where I'm currently at, is doing the series. So, yeah.
Well, if for anyone who needed graphics this stream, there you go.
I'm obsessed with this right now. This is the reason why I was commenting in my Discord why I could not sleep, because I was just thinking of the formulas to make stuff work. And I could not fall asleep.
It sounds like you should have got into computer stuff early.
I did on my own. Well, if I do implement the formulas that I'm discovering here, I'm implementing them into my actual work for the spreadsheets I'm doing for work.
Gotcha.
I know a bunch of other YouTubers, they'll do trackers like this and they will release them. I don't think anybody wants my level of a tracker.
I feel like yours, like the one you're creating now, though, like as a reference list for if other people are looking for certain types of authors and certain nationalities, like they can use it that way, though. Yeah. Wow, thanks for making me feel extra lazy. I just put 6 hours into a video game, so it's whatever.
I haven't even filmed anything for today's daily vlog.
I didn't film yesterday. I was in such a poop mood. Yeah. I was like, not gonna happen. And we're not gonna force it if we're in poop mood. Because the dogs, they're doing fine. They're just being...
What are you doing?
Special.
We are just holding on to my finger right now. In case anybody was wondering what Mambo does sometimes, it's this. She just holds it. It doesn't hurt. She just holds it. Or we do this regurgitation thing. Yep. And then we nibble, 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 and then we hold on to it. Yeah. You're a weirdo. We want that finger? This finger in particular. We really want the ring finger today. Oh, we want a pinky? We're going to do that to the pinky?
So Phoenix has been using tags on Storygraph because it's easier. Wish they could keep such a detailed tracker.
I gave up on Storygraph. I don't like that they make young adult the genre.
Well, after, logging into Libby on my new phone and not having my shelf, I've lost all the will to track.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tracking obviously just what I'm reading this year, but I'm not worried about what I've read and history and things, because we're here to create.
Hi.
Speaking of, we're coming up on our next sprint on the hour, so I'll get that banner ready.
No, that's not what we're doing.
So I've started rereading Reflection, and I think I don't know if Ian is still here or not, but I'm in the second book of His Name Was Augustin. So that's a thing.
A reflection. My favorite.
I'm only about chapter 5.
Oh, it's my favorite.
I know it's your favorite.
I love it.
It was middle range for me, and I'm seeing if rereading changes my rankings.
I loved it. I wish that was the movie, honestly. I loved the story told in this. I love the trip to the underworld. Like, oh, so fucking good. It's so good. I love it.
They do graph the tags. Agree that story graph ought not put the age groups in genre section.
Well, they only put young adult in the genre. They don't put middle grade or adult as a genre. They only do it to young adult. Which pisses me off beyond belief. Makes me so mad. And then, like, even I'll see other booktubers and they'll do their stats and they'll have young adult as a genre. And I'm like, not a genre!
I almost want to say, like, if they're gonna interpret it that way, it should be like, this is the mood is young adult. So you know what mood the book is, even if it's not like age range specific. Yeah. Meanwhile, Graf stress out Mr. Blandis.
Aw. Fee doesn't like Fee's kind of the same way. Fee doesn't like forms. Forms stress Fee out. Mm-hmm. I get it. That can be a lot of work to do.
Oh. They did.
Maybe I just didn't have any work read in my story graph yet.
Oh well. I keep trying to. Oh wait, did I ever do that thing on Goodreads? Yes, I did. Okay, mm-hmm. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Find it very hard to write YA. None of my stories fall into that.
That's fine. You know how to write it. I'm tired of the classification of it as a genre and people looking down on YA. Like, I don't even write YA. I write adult. But I always tell people I write adult in a YA style because my books are clean.
I write non-spicy adults.
Mm-hmm. But now YA is getting very spicy, so I'm like, I don't even know what to classify this as.
I write not spicy, I write honey.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you
really? It's mild.
Did you like?
I can't really type it like this, but we got 2 minutes to
your
spare. This is my heated blanket that I got, and the house is still cold.
It's a heated blanket?
Because, I won't turn the thermostat up. But I realized it's not like a Snuggie, so I can't type.
Referring to Sarah J.
Sarah J. shall not be spoken of here because
Don't get me on a mass rant. Don't get me on a mass rant. Don't do it. You won't like it.
Age groups aren't a genre. Also, don't like that they have the LGBT of the genre, which they had age classification separate and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be more of a.
It's just it's a theme. It's a theme of the genre.
There we go. Yeah, a theme or like
you could have a queer romance. The genre is romance, or queer fantasy. The genre is fantasy. Now, granted, when I go to a bookstore, I do like having all of the queer books in one section, so I can just be like, "Yay! This is what I want to read right now." I want to just give me something queer.
Oh,
but I have a variety of genre within that. What is your thing today?
I don't know if I was able to show you yet, Fenix, but when we come back from the sprint, I'll show you what we got so far for the Indie Author Archives. I've not updated it in a couple weeks. But it's at least,
UCP?
It's got a breath. It's got some life to it. Themes, yeah. Themes. Y'all are on the same page.
Wanna go to bed?
placed over here on my blanket.
You ready for bed?
Just living in.
Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Ah, okay. So let's jump into a sprint to what did I just put here? 8:20. Give us a nice 20-minute chunk. Yeah, go do the stuff. Stay hydrated. Go to the bathroom. Take care of your fur, feather, scale babies. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What up?
Murder. Whoa, bud. Whoa, bud. You laying down there? The pups have arrived.
Hello, pups.
Hello, pups.
Hello, Poppet.
Hello. Every time I come home, hello, pups. Hello. We are at 11:46, so we're almost at our little word goal for the day. Oh, good. We're all laying down comfy like. Good stuff. Putting the wrong screen. 819. Very nice.
I'm still just working on
The wee face. Oh yes, we're gonna look at the indie author archives.
Yeah.
Featuring indie authors such as yourselves.
Don't feature the one I just read because it was atrocious.
There's an unbiased catalog queue. I
guess.
just make it available. So Lenny's got coffee and it's time for editing the book. Barry's here. Hello. Fingers are cold to type, so warming them up. Maybe you should get a coffee as well, or a tea, or a hot cocoa. Phoenix worked some more on setting up the kitchen, struggling through because the last two places I lived had way more cabinet space, have way too much stuff. Not sure yet what I'm willing to get rid of. Well, you know what you use frequently, so what's a good place to start is what do you use among what you have. And I just want the blanket all around me, but it can only be in the front or the back. 83% through the audiobook for Snazzy, took a shower, waiting on laundry to switch and have an hour left of the audiobook. Oh yeah, you can knock that out tonight. You doing all the productive things, girl. We're proud of you. Use those sprints. Use those sprints. Sorry, pups. Sorry. Just continue to edit on the book fix issues. Not much of a word change. Word change. Gotcha. Sometimes that's all it needs. And the wolves have arrived in town. Yes. Yes, they have. So, yes, the archives. This is where we're at. I've not added everything that I've read over the past year because I just added what of the covers I had already downloaded for the videos that I was reviewing. So this is where we're at so far. This is the main page when you come to it, and it will pretty much, like, as I add stuff, it will, pretty sure this is the, okay, so that's the newest added. So the main page, no matter what I add, it'll just be added on to the stock here. Obviously I added in all my stuff because I was trying to make sure things worked. So then the featured page will be the most recent. So in the next update sometime, hopefully this month, we'll have the next chunk of books that I upload. Coming soon is for anybody who, you know, has the next book in their series or their book coming out. Since I know like people like try to get ARC readers and big sales for their release. So eventually, if we can keep up with that, that'll be helpful. And then I'm sure there's more genres to add, but you can click through and go by genre and see all the things here. Obviously, like I said, I've not added everything. Some have more than others, but you can also search by format. So if it's a novel, if it's a short story, or if it's a graphic novel. I've not done any poetry yet because I haven't added any poetry on here yet. And I don't think I'm going to mess with age ranges because it gets difficult. So, and then there's supposed to be a blog, but I've not posted anything. And then I've also not looked to see if anything's, well, I don't know why that page is so long, but this should actually, oh, this is on every page. So if you want to submit your book, it's a Google form that looks like this. So an author or somebody submitting the book would fill this out to help me get all the data. That way I'm not having to do the research. So author name, book title, links that they want connected to their book. So this would be per book. So if you have multiple books in the series, you would have to submit for each book, I think. Unless, I mean, I guess they would all be in the same category, but that's what the Q&A is for. Books release date / year, then the format. I did have age group as a question, so maybe that'll be a thing later, but I'm not worried about it right now. Then selecting up to 3 for the main genre, book description, and the book cover, and then if they want to join the newsletter for new releases and stuff. So all of that is in the works. Yeah. Definitely got more to add to this. And what is stuck behind there? There's somebody stuck behind there. Is that on every page? Nope, that's just on the first page. So what is this little green thing? I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Well, yeah, so there's that. Phoenix is, when I'm actually baking and cooking, I use quite a bit. Can get rid of dishes though, as it's just me. Yeah, like you could get down to like 2 to 4 settings. Easy. I mean, how many cups do you really need? I say this question to my husband all the time. How many pints do we really need? Then again, nothing's gonna fit in those cupboards, so. Are your pup sitting at the moment? Oh, or your pup is sitting at the moment. Mine have taken over and one is under the desk, so I can't move my chair. Nina, hello.
Hey, Nina.
Hello, everybody here hanging out. Whoop, whoop. Great start. Once my life settles down enough, if it ever does, I'll totally help you out. Thanks. Yeah, because we're gonna need it. And I did create a separate email just for this, for if anybody wants to help manage it in the future. Since like I said, if we function on like you submit it, it goes up once a month-ish. I think it'll be manageable, but it still relies on people submitting it. Oh, and then like if you click on the book, for example, I might switch or attempt to switch where the description is and try to put it next to the book here. But you'll get a page like this, so you'll have the cover and all of its glory. And right now I just have like author website links or whatever link I have, but I think I might switch the description and the links. I just got to figure out if I can do that in the settings or if I have to do it when I'm uploading it. So yeah.
Woo.
We spent I think that was either a Creative Commons or some kind of sprint of some sort. Sprint stream.
I believe it was Creative Commons.
Yeah. Thanks, Ian. I'm also in more than halfway through the second book of Augustin. And so I've hit the part where I'm just questioning why this character is still alive. If Julian was playing Bad Book Bingo, she would have earned Too Dumb to Live so many times over. Face palm. Oh, your pup's in your uncle's pup. What kind of dog? If your dog comes up, you gotta tell us all about the dog. We're dog people and cat people. What animal people?
Animal people.
I think that it is that one, the initiation cover is so cool. Like the art is really beautiful. It's coming up on my next to read list, so we shall see. If I hit my writing goal in this next sprint, maybe I will dabble and get a few more things up. Mayhaps. Oh my god, but Swanee, like, she literally jumps from this is the most terrible person in the world. How could I trust or love or anything? And then, oh yes, I love this person. I would do anything for them. And I'm like, no. Red flag. Smack her with the red flag. She's not getting it. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a mixed mutt with the cuteness factor.
Mm-hmm.
We love our mixed babies.
We do.
Aren't you babies mixed? You both my mixed babies. Yeah.
Good Lord. Sorry.
Don't worry, he's just abusing a Saxon. Yeah, that whole thing, we're like, oh, he would never do that to me. And I'm like, not a good reason. Not a good reason at all. And like, I was totally down for before the whole ritual when they were like, when he was like tutoring her and they were like studying language together. I'm like, okay, this is a different approach to like building a relationship, especially with him being like the quote unquote black sheep. But it's more like whatever, stronger than a black sheep. And then that whole thing happened and it came out of left field. It felt like it came out of left field, which as they do. And I'm literally just like shaking my head at everything this character does after that. It's definitely like, maybe if this was intended to be beginning of a villain origin, it would make more sense since they get all their powers from like the devil and demons and stuff, but I don't think that was the author's intention. Speaking of indie books and Storygraph tags, according to my stats, I read 73 indie books in 2022. Probably more as I was keeping track at the beginning of the year. Nice. That's a lot of indie books. That is more books than I read.
How many?
73, give or take, since they weren't tracking at the beginning of the year.
Dang. I'm trying to do more indie this year.
Mm-hmm. He does do that in the future. She's like, oh no, he doesn't mean it. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then when they made the bond and he's literally about to assault her, I'm like, you did not see this coming. Oh my gosh, Ian, we're gonna have such a blast roasting these books. My gosh. And it's so sad because she does describe things like the day-to-day in a very nice and like enjoyable way, and then it's like bam, everything you didn't want to hear about. Nina just finished reading a thriller. Usually don't read them so satisfied that she figured out who the killer was. Woo! Only to find out online that everyone figures out the murderer in the book. Well, I mean, I feel like it does get revealed at some point. Unless you, wait, so you satisfied to figure out who it was before finishing it, right? And then you're saying that online, everybody else also just figured out who the murderer was? Like it wasn't that secret? Is that the statement? Am I speaking the English?
No. Dang it. I thought it was my conditional formatting, and now it's not. Sorry.
And that was 189 total books by Phoenix. I think Q hit the 200, right?
I did.
Did you go over?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
I did 204. No. Because Goodreads is not accurate because Kuro Kenshin isn't in there.
Fair.
I think 206.
Okay, nice.
206 or something, 206, 208. I read 39 books in December. Because I was trying to do a bunch of like short books real fast.
It counts. They are books.
Yeah.
Glad to finally have someone to talk to. Yeah. If I read this and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it, and I had to force my husband to listen to through all the, I don't know if he would. I think it would ruin our relationship. We should sell Rugsman. My gosh. Oh, the filters. Things I won't say. But this book is getting really close to making me say. Yeah, 189 books. Awesome. I don't think I even read more. Well, I read or maybe I read about 20 of these. But I don't think I read any like real books. Maybe like 2 or 3. So I didn't do a lot of reading last year. That's why there's like a bunch on my list.
I mean, that's fine though. You don't have to be crazy.
I've been contemplating if I should make Ivar a full-blown villain or not. Does he deserve to be called a villain? So I don't think he, Ivar, so the character in his book, because I read Blood and Steel, and it's very anti-hero, but it's also, I don't think it's quite villain level because he does have that.
Is this character an antagonist? Or is it the main character?
It's the main character.
Ooh.
It doesn't feel like a villain. It doesn't feel like
they're a gray character then.
It's a very morally gray character because more or less, and correct me if I get a few details mixed up because I've read quite a few since then. His parents and everybody was killed when he was young, and he was like taken into essentially trained to be like an assassin. And the people that he went out killing, who he thought were the bad guys, were not actually the bad guys. But there's also something going on with like a spirit, like there's like almost like a demon voice in his head. So I feel like it's not villain. It definitely more anti-hero. I keep wanting to say vigilante, but that's Order of the Spirits. Anti-hero, morally gray. Definitely I sense a redemption arc or something coming because it seemed like he felt bad for what he had done, and then he's still like pursuing his revenge. So yeah, I did not get villain vibes.
Okay.
I felt very intelligent because there was before the reveal at the end. I love doing that in the shows too, where you're like, it was them. And they come back and they're like, ha, it was. Yeah. So many books. Y'all be reading like crazy. And that's with a reading slump. Okay. We've got some fire readers here. I read terrible books. I will read more indie books when things get mellow up here. Well, some of the indie books are terrible too, as we are. The majority of the ones I read last year, decent, if not great. The final book that I read last year was actually possibly a 5-star. I think it's like 4.75. But that was an indie, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. I had a panic moment.
The third year was 70. Oh. Have I ever read that many books in a year?
What?
Well then, challenge accepted. No, don't make me do that. Not this year. Unless I can ebook a lot of stuff or audiobook a lot of stuff. But
oh, that totally counts. That's how I got through mine.
well, I mean, but I would, even with the audiobooks I have to listen to already, because book 3 is going to take so much non-audiobook time, I don't know if it's still in the realm of possibility this year. Nina hasn't tracked her reading in ages, trying to fix that this year. Nice. We're just
my tracker?
The 6-page one. The 30-column one.
Oh, it's more columns than that?
Oh. Great. Love it.
It's so many columns.
So crazy. Alright. So we're almost hitting about 20 till, which means we can slide into another sprint. Let me set this banner up here. Buddy, do you have to go potty? Do you have to go outside? Maybe a little bit? You want to try? Okay. Yeah. in other news, the dogs have been really weird about like going down the stairs. First it was Tundra, and it made sense because she kind of fell and got scared, so we trimmed up her fur on her toes, and now she's like fine. And then this morning, Atreyu wouldn't come downstairs. No reason.
Rubbed off on him.
No reason. You just wanted attention. Your dad had to carry you down those stairs, even after suggesting that we go for legs, and you didn't.
You have to build what my parents and I built for Rufus. It's a puppy chute.
Well, they've been doing this for not going down. They've been going up and down the stairs forever.
Yeah.
And he didn't fall because he went up and down twice last night. You know, at 4 a.m, was it? And 7 a.m. So it wasn't like there was no trigger. I don't know what's going on. The ghosts are upstairs, so he should have been downstairs. The puppy bit the big toe. You feisty little guy. 353 of 2021 was my highest ever books read. Maybe when I was a kid, almost a book a day. Yeah, crazy. Nina's debating if she should count the books she has to read for work as well, or maybe keep them on a separate sheet. I think they count, but you can distinguish if you like.
Yeah, I think you can definitely distinguish them.
All right, well, I'm getting grunted at, so we're going to start this sprint. Be back on the hour. Get stuff done. Hydrate. You know the spiel. You know the whites. You go do your thing. I love you. Goodbye. I'll be back.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do. Do do. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
I was editing today's video.
I only got
Prince.
only got 188 because Trey wouldn't come downstairs again. Cannot confirm, but I'm wondering if he maybe. I took him down and outside last night at like 4:50, and he was playing keep away, as in he was playing you can't catch me and take me inside. And that's the last time I saw him really like bouncing around. And then after that, he wouldn't come upstairs and he was whining. So I'm wondering if he might have just drained something. He's not walking weird. But he was like, when I tried to get him to go down, like he was just holding his paw up, but not like super high up, just a little bit. And that's not good because I should not carry him down the stairs by myself. So yeah, new development.
Okay.
Well, if I can get him downstairs, then we can keep him downstairs.
Yeah.
Why do y'all have to do this to me? You just got better.
Poor babies.
Poor big giant babies that I can't carry on my own. I need to make like a sling. Just,
Yeah. Hi to mama.
To mama. What else did we get?
How we doing?
Let's see. Okay. Oh, we were talking more about people reading crazy numbers of books. One girl in one of Nina's Facebook reading groups read more than 800 books last year, and her goal was to be under 500, so she failed. Well, that's a great thing to fail, I guess.
How do you do that?
You have no other life. You listen to everything at 4 times the speed.
I mean, I get it if you predominantly read like manga and stuff, because those are very easy to get through. But like,
the only goal I ever set is 52. Nah, Phoenix, you're gonna get through more than that. Yeah, I bet you will. She says about 70% audiobooks. She reads them at the highest speed available, usually double speed. She listens to them at least 8 hours a day at work. That'll do it.
I mean, I listen at work, but there's a point where I'm like, I need silence for a hot second. So like, I've listened to half of an audiobook today.
Nice. Oh, Snazzy fell down the Twitter hole. Up, see ya, Barry. For part of the sprint, did switch laundry, listen to a few minutes of audiobook. Nina got a few words in as well. Mr. Blandis is working on chapter 12, going through looking for typos, inconsistencies. The number 8 to anything else that could be wrong. Yes, there's always 8 guards. Which that can be, like, you can make that a thing. Like, if the culture has 8 as, like, what's the word I'm looking for? An important number or a prevalent number. Like, it could be like they always have to have 8 guards or something. So you can make that into a thing, but it has to be specified, or else it's like, oh, I just picked out 8 people again. And here's 8 more. Because like in Buddhism, 8 is a big number. I think that's their number is 8. So you could work that into the culture.
Sure.
Twitter and Instagram suck, lots of holes to fall into. I never fall into, I don't get on Twitter, so that's one thing. And then I don't fall into Instagram because I post and I leave. Like, I'll see what's on, like, the top few things on my, like, home, and I'm like, okay. Whereas I can fall into a TikTok hole
Yeah, that's really easy to
But
do.
it's not necessarily like, it doesn't end up being random things though, because usually I'll search something and then watch a few in that, and I'll be like, okay, it's been an hour. Snazzy always sets their reading goal at 52. Feel like if I'm able to read a book a week, I'm winning at life. Goals, man. Y'all got goals. I've not officially posted my goals yet. I need to like record that for my next little video. I don't want to be boring about it.
Put my first completed series in here. My first full blue donut. Because I finished it the other day.
Mama is undecided on her task for tonight. And Snazzy has to avoid TikTok. If she gets on TikTok, that's all she's doing for the day. Understood. Oh, I'm still not used to that. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna get Tree downstairs. And they're like, massage them, get ice. And I'm like, but he's upstairs. So our video games, Nina, and I can't quit them. To be fair, I think the only reason I'm actually like playing Mass Effect again is because it's a trilogy, but I only played 2 and 3 because when you start 2, it gives you the karma choices from the first game. So I was able to pick like if I let this race live or not, or if I, had this person in my team or not. So like you still got to continue the story as if you did it, but I never actually did it. And I presume since it was the first and it's like way back on PS2 that it was like a smaller game. I was wrong. Like I went to my first planet mission last night and I'm like, okay, this will take me like a couple hours. Like you go through, you talk to the scientists, you shoot the bad guys, we'll be good. No, 4 hours in and I'm like 2/3 of it. I was like, what is this? Why is there so many rooms? And they make you go back and forth and back and forth. Like, give me all of your questions at one time, please. Instead of being like, oh, and now you can go get this piece of information. Well, I was over there. And it was just over there. Couldn't get into TikTok. How do you do book talk stuff? We make it up. We don't know how to do anything properly. We just wing it. But I mean, a lot of people do stuff on there, so that's a lot of different things you can do. I think book talk is probably easier because you can just talk about whatever book you're reading, whereas author talk.
There's a lot. There's so much content on book talk, and
I have come to the understanding that I just don't care about AuthorTube/author talk because it's all they do is here's my writing advice. And I'm like, okay, have you made progress on your writing? Are you like publishing another book? Like I just want to hear about your stories and your book stuff. And that's why I haven't really been posting is because I'm like, all I'm gonna do is tell people, hey, I wrote 10,000 more words and I can't tell you about any of them. I struggled. That's all you get to know. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about like Twisted Tales and the indie books.
I think that's one of the great follies of AuthorTube and Author Talk is the lack of ability to make unique content. Because a lot of them, you're right. Everybody is like, they're writing advice. There's a few things. There's like people who are like, I'm going to write like this famous author for a day, or tag videos, but it gets repetitive. And if you're not talking about, I've got this book coming out or something, you're giving advice, but it is very much that, well, who are you to give advice? why should we be listening to your advice?
Well, it's
and
also
writing
like
is so diverse anyway in how people make their stories. One size does not fit all.
for sure. And when you watch like the bigger people, because you know the algorithm tells you to watch the bigger people, and you're like, okay, you released a book 3 years ago, and you're supposedly still writing. Yes, I know it can take a while. I'm fine with that, but I'm not getting any updates on where you at. What's your plan? I'm just hearing about, or like they'll do the like every other video they're promoting their own book, and I'm like, but tell me about it.
Sure.
Actually convince me. Don't just do a TikTok dance and turn around and it's in your butt. Like or the one with the hot sauce one is funny, but I was just like, no, I don't think this is how. Like, I don't care about your book right now.
Sure.
I was really not a fan of like, tell me would you buy this book based on the cover, and I'm like, that's literally not what you're supposed to do. Like, would you buy me a book that had this cover? It's like, so you hired a good cover artist?
Mm-hmm.
That's literally judging a book by its cover.
Which, to be fair though, we do. Everybody does.
No, we judge it, but I don't think if a person, especially a new author, who's already like susceptible to like opinions, and if somebody says, no, I would not buy your book, like your cover, like if somebody bashes that cover, how do you think that person's gonna feel?
Well, but if they're doing it themselves, they've opened themselves up to that commentary.
I don't think they realize they're opening themselves up to it. So I think they're just jumping on the trend of like, oh look, this person got 500 comments.
They gotta learn that.
They'll buy their book.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the same thing, and then it's like, well, you cover as a flop.
They're gonna learn then. They're gonna learn,
or they'll get out of the game. Only the strong will survive.
See, what's really fun is I've been recently addicted to watching Reads with Rachel, and she does a series of authors behaving badly and kind of showcases them. And there are a few times where she touches on certain indie authors. And there's one guy that I just watched her little stuff on called J.M. Arlen, and he's an indie guy, and he was super upset that people weren't buying his book or something. And you know, any single review he got, he was attacking back to anyone and everything. And it's very much this kind of situation where like he expects everyone to love him and stuff and love his book when his book is not good. He literally stole a line out of A Song of Ice and Fire right in the beginning. He said that they got Winter is Coming right in the beginning of the book. That's like, what did you think was going to happen, buddy? Yeah. And he's just lost his mind. And so like it's, you know, you put yourself in that public space. Not everyone's going to agree with you. You have to be ready to take criticism on your own work. Not everyone's going to love it. It's not going to be a universal thing. Everyone's tastes are different.
Yeah.
I don't expect everyone to love Ashport. I know Ashport has flaws.
Yeah,
it's my place to go into my reviews and comment back. That's not what you do as a writer. That's for other people to give their opinion on the book to guide other readers. And especially as an actual reviewer, it's up to us as reviewers to give our honest opinions. Yeah.
Catching up with some comments, because I agree. You're good. Tamama recorded a video earlier with screen capture, and the screen capture didn't save. Always great. Gotta do it over. Phoenix never had a TikTok or Instagram, not big on social media. I'm not good at looking at things on social media. I'm very much a post and leave, which is probably why I don't have the big, or at least it's one of the reasons why I don't have like that big connection stuff, because you really have to interact and you have to follow other people and you have to show you care. And I'm like, I'm busy. So I'll be back later. I know that's a huge thing in like garnering, is that the right word? Garnering social media presence. But I just don't have the mental capacity. Yay! Mass Effect's the only one I can reliably play from beginning to end, because there is an end. And it's relatively straightforward, you know, and then you get all the side missions and you're like, there's so many planets and systems. yes, Mass Effect is fun. And if I can get the dog downstairs, I can play again, but I gotta get the dog downstairs. Nina also quit computer games have so much to do with my time. Can't wait to retire and just play all the Final Fantasy games from beginning to end. There will be several more out at that point. There will be so many. You will retire and then you will be the most famous person, the oldest person to be playing. I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna go on. Kid sprayed water on the monitor, so it killed my PC game time.
Oh.
He was 4 at the time. Well, that's why we don't have kids.
That's rough. That's a rough one.
Final Fantasy was my favorite till it started to suck. I also quit playing video games, suck at playing them, get frustrated, so now I just watch other people play on YouTube. Yeah. I am more selective of what I play. Especially so I was really looking forward to Horizon Forbidden West because I loved Zero Dawn. Robo Dinos for the win. However, Forbidden West did the thing where it added in so many different elements. Like now you can cook and now you can play this chess game and you can race your horsey thing. And I was like, there's too many mini games. There's too many just tasks and side things to finish aside from the story and the normal side quests that it just overwhelmed me and I have not touched it in a while.
That's why I can't do a lot of games just because when it has too much, it's not that clear point A, point B kind of game. I'm like, nope, can't do it.
CW, what's CW? I get your criticisms, but do you have the same opinion of university professors for CW and visiting authors who don't have these updates and talk about process? Are we talking about the CW critique work?
For critique writing? Or?
Maybe. I'm gonna
creative writing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Creative writing. I think we're going back to the conversation of just the author writing advice stuff.
I mean, I would have that same opinion but being a university professor connotates that you've done the work, having that degree in
I also feel
writing.
At that level, they're more eloquent in how they are presenting their advice and their tips and their experience even. Whereas what we get a lot as hey, somebody else talked about, their writing aesthetic or their top 5 tips. Let me do my top 5 tips. For me personally, when I was a beginner, I don't feel like I latched onto a lot of them. It gave me an idea of what people were doing. But I think once you get into this stage, at least for, at least I think for you and I are on the same page where we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. Okay, don't fall down the stairs. Thank you. But we've kind of figured out our own process. So we don't need tips on how to write in general. Mm-hmm. If it's super hyper specific stuff, and it does that light bulb click, then I'm all for it. But I also feel like I'd either be looking for that or I'd expect it from a creative writing professor or an author coming in to talk about stuff versus just being social media spammed by the same top 5 do's and don'ts.
And there is a difference with that because in a university setting, you have that class for a semester. So there's a time limit on the content. Whereas if you're an author tuber or author on TikTok, you're constantly having to produce new content, but there's only so far you can expand from yourself in giving writing advice. And a lot of times the author tubers are not they're not creative writing professors. So they're not into theory. It's just them talking about their own process. And a lot of, even with the professors though, like some of them will just have these concrete rules, which doesn't work for writing in general, I find, because again, everyone is so different in how their process works. So I'm even a little hesitant with like university professors and stuff, especially if they're like, don't write a prologue kind of thing. And it's like, no.
And then you're like, well, let me write one that you like.
Yeah, exactly. So
I can't challenge accepted.
But like I think it's just a different platform of spreading that information. Whereas a university professor will have a curriculum that they do every semester for a new group of people. Whereas when you're on YouTube, yeah, you can have lots of new people. But if you're making that same video over and over and over again, there's not much to do. So I think that's the bigger struggle that we're having in consuming content or wanting to make content. That's why I consider myself I'm a hybrid. I do BookTube and AuthorTube, but I am heavily much more so as a BookTuber than I am an AuthorTuber, because I don't feel like I have the right, for one, to tell people how to write their books or explain things. But I'll talk about my stuff occasionally, but I don't want to over spam people with buy my book, because I feel like that's a surefire way to get them to not buy your book.
In relation to that, I want to say I feel the same way, but in realizing how many people actually watch our videos, if they're not watching every single video, then if you post it in every single video, you increase the chances of it being seen, because not everybody watches every video. So in that place, maybe it's okay not to be as selective, even though I am notoriously terrible at remembering that I have books to talk about. I'm just like, oh yeah, those things. I also had a second point there. But writing, so the medium of writing, while it's technically visual, it's not, if somebody was typing on a screen, I don't think that's necessarily visually appealing enough to work. It's not as engaging. It can be educational. So a little experiment, I don't know if I'll get to it this year, because it'll be like in one of the adaptations, is to do live writing. So you're essentially, if you're going to stick it out, go through the drafting process and like how I would approach editing, but you can see it all on screen. And I think you can't really do that with the majority of books, because you don't want people to know what it says, or they won't buy it then, right? You don't want spoilers, but you don't want thieves. Well, you don't want thieves, but you don't want your content to just be out there for free, because then you're not selling stuff. But it's also the possibility that they see how you write and they decide they don't like it. So that's another potential, like, versus them like not knowing exactly what your writing style is and buying the book and seeing it then. They see it ahead of time, which is why, like, I'm not gonna spoil anything with Tower of Dogs, but if I do adapt Kuro Kenshin or, any of the other series to continue those, that would be a good example, even though it's slightly different writing style. Like if I did Waycott, that'd be very different. So yeah, it's wherever that file is going. It's a complicated platform to be on and to produce for. Oh, everybody talking about video games. I'm not doing JanuRimo because A, I forgot. B, sucking at the whole like keep on schedule already. JanuRimo is like NaNoWriMo, but in January. I think it's unofficial. I don't know if there's an actual like. It's very unofficial. Uber unofficial. Yeah. I don't trust anyone on BookTube or AuthorTube. Too many bullies and mean girls for my taste. Would not disagree. I mean, I would, but I would say there are some, but I don't think it's oversaturated with bullies and mean girls. I don't know. It depends on who you're watching. It does depend on who you're watching. So ones I've watched, I would say only one of them is really mean. I can understand why it would feel that way, because typically the videos that are going to get promoted that are the ones that are being seen, are the ones that are more critical. Therefore, the person may sound mean or like overly critical about a book or whatever, and that's because that's what gets views. People don't want me to be like, I like the book, go get it. They just want me to be like, page 5, there was 3 typos. This girl can't spell the word.
I don't know who you're watching. That's what I'm seeing. Positive booktubers: Jesse the Reader, Haley in Bookland, Tatiana Voigt. I have a lot of very positive people who do gush about the books they love. I don't know.
I'm terrible at gushing because I'm just like, I just liked it. Just understand. Understand these feelings.
I think I think it just depends on what the algorithm has really given you.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen too many be like very, very mean, I would say.
Writing in January, not enough for JanuWriMo.
Yeah.
Hey, write what you can. Write what you can. I have too many projects for JanuWriMo, or can I add? You can do all the writing. I don't think you have to pick a specific. Yeah. You can work on an existing project. It's all about the word count. So same kind of Camp Nano rules unofficially. Aw, Nina. Unless you have a separate.
I can be mean, like I'm not gonna shy away and be like, yeah. I mean, from the video I posted last night criticizing a book, I was kind of mean. I can be mean, but I do watch a lot of other booktubers that are very sweet and very nice. So I don't necessarily agree that it's a lot of booktube is that way. I think there are definitely some, but at least the ones that I watch tend to be a lot more positive people on it. But I think in any niche on YouTube and social media platforms, you're going to find bullies because it's the internet. And the internet is a cesspool of bullies.
Of trolls. They live under bridges.
Yeah.
They're trolls.
Every community has its drama. And yeah, there's a lot of it. AuthorTube's been through several waves of drama.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky not to be really part of it, but I've been witness to it and just like, dang, y'all calm down.
Yeah, I'm too ignorant to know. But I think I don't watch that many people. I didn't watch that many people to begin with. Mm-hmm. But there's still people that I'm subscribed to who, I don't remember why I subscribed to them, to be honest. I feel like they were bigger book reviewers. They might have done a couple indie books, and that's why I subscribed to them. But the people that I watch now are like super in depth with their reviews, and they're nice and they're funny. So
that's the thing. They got to be engaging and funny for me to really watch it. I'll get bored real fast if it's just long-winded conversation. Not even conversation, because it's one-sided, so it's like one long monologue about details. But if it's very monotonous or like not a lot of cuts, a lot of ums and stuff, it's gonna lose me. And that's true for any kind of video for me. If there's just not enough of an entertaining aspect to it, I don't.
Yeah, there are those people out there. There
are. And because I've done on NaNoWriMo forums and stuff, and be like, hey, if you're a booktuber, or post your links so I can check you out, and I've subscribed to them, but I've regretted those subscriptions because a lot of them are just like very low quality cameras and microphones, and it's like, no, not everybody has to have them, but if you're using lower quality stuff, you have to have higher quality content, and a bigger personality to put it on there to make it engaging. But I'm finding a lot of people who are like do videos where they're talking kind of like this, and so I read this today, and yeah, it was good. And then I read, I can't with that type of video. It's not engaging. It's not gonna make me stick around. Yeah.
Oh no. I don't know. I just try to be honest, whether it's engaging or not. Mm-hmm. And I cut my ums out.
I appreciate that.
No, cut your video up and be honest.
But yeah, I mean, if you find your style, there's one thing, because there are author tubers or booktubers. So one in particular is A Clockwork Reader. I adore her. I think she's a very positive person. She has a very calm tone of voice, so it's contrast to my own like personality where I'm very boom 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 boom. But she does really long videos, and I'm totally engaged the entire time she's talking because she has a lot of like fun commentary. She has a lot of fun cuts in it, a lot of fun graphics and things that keep you engaged. So I highly recommend Clockwork Reader. I think she was the first booktuber I ever found. And like she's slowed on how much content she's making, but what she is producing, because she's like reading certain books as a theme. So like she just recently read Colleen Hoover books, so you don't have to kind of thing. And you know, gave her very honest reviews about them. They're not all slamming or anything. Granted, a large portion of them is like, what is this? But the details that she goes into are really great and help viewers out.
Yeah. So Nita's working on her video.
You're the one I need to read, are you? Nita's gonna be mean about my favorite books.
Honest.
I haven't even gotten the books that you're making me read yet. I can't. It's January. I am on a ban.
Yes,
I can't buy anything in January.
I feel like no matter what review I do, because I feel like I need to be constructive somewhere. Like, not necessarily that I feel like I'm being mean, but I don't like pointing out negative stuff, especially if it's something that I liked, but I feel like I need to be constructive for my review to have substance. But at the same time, I realize I'm probably like speaking to the author on the constructiveness instead of like the reader. So, I don't have a style unless that's it. My style is
that's for sure.
My style is you're creating writing group that you meet in the coffee shop and you do a round robin and everybody has to say something nice but also something constructive. English class.
I think it depends on the book, but like if the book has offended me greatly, I will be mean. If there is something very offensive in that book, no holds barred, I'm gonna be mean. But regular, like I didn't enjoy the book, I won't be mean about it. But like the book that I read yesterday, I took offense and I was mad. But
yes, definitely.
I mean, yeah, be authentic and honesty. That's what I think a lot of the booktubers I watch have.
Yep. That's why I was genuinely shocked when I got a comment that from somebody, so it wasn't from the author of the book I reviewed, it was from somebody who apparently adores this author. And they were like, this person will cry if they see your review because you were so mean. And I was like, me? What?
You're not mean.
Like, literally said this, like, it came down to this wasn't for me. And I think it, you know, it worked out, but these are the things I think could have been better. Like, it wasn't even my Savior's Champion review, and that's where I got kind of snappy.
That's where you're mean.
That's my snappy one.
I think I've been mean about maybe 4 books in the past year. I feel like, yeah.
Right? We try, and then they're like, oh, and you're like,
I felt really mean about my Promises Left for Dead review, but it was true.
It was a very strong emotional reaction.
Very strong emotional reaction. I mean, it was plagiarism. And then I deservedly mean with Calculus of Change and Jonathan Unleashed have been my 2 worst books I've read in the past year-ish, 2 years. Because Jonathan Unleashed was my worst book of 2021. Calculus of Change is my worst book of 2022. Spoiler alert, it's my worst book that I read. But I feel like I'm allowed to be more mean to traditionally published ones than I am to indies, because they're traditionally published have way more eyes on them and should be vetted and stuff. And it's like, how did this get published?
Right.
Whereas indies, they are like, we're just on our own doing whatever. and not sometimes people don't have the readers that they need to tell them.
Right. So in regards to this, so Paulina says, aren't we semi-afraid that very scathing reviews will make indie authors depressed / discouraged from writing? Feels like it's always an uphill battle for indies. So even if they're maybe a young adult or whoever they are publishing, you have to be able to take criticism. So I think there's a difference between a scathing review of just, I hate it, you're a terrible person, that side, and the like, here's the issues I had with this book, because you know, if you present it in a constructive manner, you still don't have to take all of the advice if it doesn't match with your vision, but you should at least accept it, and or don't look at your reviews.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Kind of the whole thing behind it is like, if you can't take the heat, stay out of the reviews.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
not too afraid of it, because like, if you like, okay, the only thing I'm afraid of right now, like in my review yesterday, I know this person, so I will have to see this person in a couple weeks if they go to the convention that I'm about to go to. I am a little scared of like my opinion fracturing the relationship that we have. But what I said was honest, because what was written was offensive and poorly done. And it's not that I want them to give up on writing. I want them to get better. I want them to take a critical eye at their work and go, oh yeah,
and acknowledge,
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know, if that, but it's essentially, that's not on me, because in a reviewer space, that's where I'm allowed to give my opinion.
Yeah.
It's up to the author to decide whether or not they want to improve on that, or if they want to give up. I can't hold the onus on that.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's up to them.
Yeah. And like some of my indie spotlights, either, I don't think I've known any of them personally ahead of time, but they've reached out to me personally. So in the cases where there's a few where either I find like a lot of typos, or the writing style was maybe not as clean, or I did have like major issues that would have knocked it down at least 2 stars, I typically do respond to them privately and just be like, hey, just as like here's some things I noticed, don't know if these have been changed or whatever, but this is stuff I'm going to be talking about. That way, at least they get a heads up, because they're going to watch the video they asked me to make for them. So a lot of times, you know, we have a good conversation with it, but then you get the random one where I thought I was being nice. Somebody say, you being mean. I said, okay, sorry.
I do know that, I will say, so I beta read a book for a friend of mine, and I was very brutal in my criticism of it, because it was extremely offensive. It was very racist, and it was very misogynistic. And I told him, and apparently between me and Lena reviewing this book, we sent him to therapy. But like, in theory, that helped. He has since released that book. I don't know if he changed anything in it from our critiques of it, but
I think
it was important.
Was it this past year?
What?
Was it this past year?
2 years ago that we read this one, but he released it this year.
Okay, then I don't think I know which one you're talking about. So Ian says, I will rip books that are disrespectful to the reader, authors that cut off emotional highs and skip through climaxes. Bro, I am coming for you.
Or skip an ending entirely?
That's a cliffhanger, not
No, not even a cliffhanger. Not even a cliffhanger.
Okay, I thought you were looking at me.
No, not you. I'm talking about the book I read yesterday.
You're the only one I can see.
That's right. You can't watch my videos right now. You're on a YouTube ban.
I know I'm on a YouTube ban.
You don't
even
even
know anything.
The pain that I
It's so freeing. Yes. Or adding to that. Because there was something. I have had good experiences with action sequences being written out recently, but at least in regards to like the August and stuff, where you get all these fantastic descriptions on the stuff that doesn't matter, and then the plot doesn't get attention, and you're like, you did what now? Like, or stuff wasn't earned. So that kind of falls into that for me. I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Tamama's been salty about a few books. Really only remember being mean about one that just pushed all the buttons. What was offensive about it? Well, check out her video.
Check out the video to see everything.
I'm sure she goes into detail.
I do go into quite detail. The biggest offense to this, though, I will say very shortly, it is a straight man writing women in a relationship with each other. And it was not well done. It's an affront to a lot of things. So, yeah, there were so many problems with this book, but that was one of the biggest offenses. Was that Promises Left for Dead was indie? It was not
indie forever ago.
It was a teenager writing it whose parents said, "Yes, let's put this out in the world," when they should not have done that.
They probably didn't even read it. My mom read my books when I was a teenager.
Well, they probably read it and went, "Yeah, honey, you're so special. You're so good at this. We should publish this." And it's like, no. They probably didn't realize it was plagiarism of Hunger Games and Divergent. He probably
also that.
It was like, what? Anyway,
they're like, "How do you think of these things?" Well, I watched a movie about it.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see where she does.
Yeah. There is no.
We're gonna read a book that literally left the characters in a climactic moment and then skipped to the epilogue.
There are two books right now that I can tell you that I read recently that are both indies that cut off entire climax sequences or just abruptly end. Like there is no end. Like this one that I read yesterday, where literally we never find out the villain. We never get the full arc of the actual, like what was the arc of the story? I don't know. But they're on their way to a meeting and then the book ends. And it's like, where was anything?
Was this part one?
There was no arc ever. It was a flat line the whole way. Just. Took so mad.
It was let's write all the sexy stuff people want and not make a plot.
That's the thing. Every single like sexy moment was a fade to black anyway, so he didn't totally fetishize the lesbian couple. He poorly wrote the lesbian couple for one, just telling you they were in love with each other, giving them zero chemistry connection. But the thing that was offensive was how he described the characters. Because the moment a straight white man, describes the woman with an extra waist and full breasts, you know that is for the fucking male gaze. That is not accurate description, because no woman in her right mind sits down to describe a character with a slim waist and full breasts. None of us do it. Ever.
I bet they write about full breasts. I bet they would if they was on that side.
But they wouldn't. The way it's written in the context, like when we're describing the appearance of the character, that terminology is male gaze. A girl might say, "Yeah, I've got bigger. I'm a bigger chest." They wouldn't necessarily even say the word breast, but there are different ways that different monikers women use to describe.
But I think we're looking at it from a straight POV.
It is.
Because, yes, but I'm saying, a lesbian woman writing may be all about that. Because even the way that women write men can get, I don't care about that piece of it.
There's totally the female gaze side of this. That, I'm not arguing that. It exists.
Right. I'm just saying,
The problem is that it didn't fit narrative, because this isn't a romance. This is a sci-fi. So there's no need for it to have that. It was outside of its genre to do that. But when you're to describe, because he's describing a scientist. The character is a scientist. Now there is a character who's an actress, and that would be slightly more fitting, but he does it with the scientist. And so
can a scientist have a slim waist and big boobs?
What?
The scientist can be slim waist and big boobs.
She can, but it's the narrative writing. Like the scientist, her focus when you're in her POV, and granted it's third person POV, wouldn't be thinking about that when describing about herself. If she's
her own personal self, no. Someone she's attracted to.
That's what I'm talking about. It's describing the self. It's not describing what she's seeing.
Unless she altered herself to look that way.
Which she didn't.
We don't know. The story was never finished.
It's poor writing. It was poor writing with that. It is male gaze. Female gaze also exists, but this...
Read Denim Sparrows. It's got a
he doesn't have equal footing because there's a male character in here. He does not do equal footing. So, anyway. I have not.
Polly Looney wants to add this to your TBR if it's not already on there.
Why though? I need to know why. Why should I put it on my TBR?
Defend yourself. Go. That's how I felt about Southern Book Club's guide to slaying vampires.
I have now taken this book off of my TBR from the reviews y'all have told me about.
Good. Just watch Ian's channel and you'll take a bunch of books off.
Yeah.
Counting myself lucky that I never read a book with an ending like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of going on so that you can see other people very sexualized descriptions of the body. Especially the book series that I'm reading with her, the whole Augustin thing, the main character constantly describes herself that way, and this is a female author.
Okay.
Okay,
well then it's already downgraded though as a good book to me.
For sure, but
anything that uses, because then, I personally haven't come across, I probably have come across books and maybe have blocked them out of my memory because then it's just bad writing. But it's particularly bad when it's a man doing it to a female character.
Yes. Yeah, right about all the peoples. And that's probably, part of the situation.
But again, it's also context in your genre, too.
Or the character.
It does, because it's a stripper character, so that makes more sense to describe her body than it does a scientist. You see what I mean by that? I guess, yeah.
I see where you're going, but also we already agree this book wasn't good.
The book was not good. But that was the first thing that will turn me off from reading a book. Is something like that.
Sorry, only Ian is gonna get this, but in book 2, when she sees the assault happening and she clenched her butt, I laughed because the way she worded it, I was just like, you sound so ridiculous, but also your whole body should be going tighter right now, not just your butt.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Nobody else is gonna get that except for Ian. But I do think women who are attracted to women would write it similarly because they are also likely attracted to similar physical traits in women like breast and graceful body form. You can write it anyway.
But I also think that women are just, in general, granted, yes, you guys are giving me examples of ones that don't do that, and to me that's a poor writer. But I also think women are just more in tune with what's better when describing a character, what's actually necessary for that scene. That's not saying that all of us women do it right. We definitely don't.
Right.
But there's a bigger offense to it when it's a man doing it for the male gaze versus a woman doing it for, as a woman. There's a difference in it. It's like, being a white person writing a black character and trying to take on the experiences of a black person without knowing what that is, and we'll never be able to know what that is. It's a similar kind of thing. Yes, everyone can make that mistake, but there's a greater offense.
Yeah. I've seen quite a few Mary Sues who are this description.
See, I see that in fanfic a lot, and yeah, that's bad.
Well, I think it may or may not lend to the skill of the writer, because if you're writing in a certain person's POV, I think you're less likely to describe yourself head to toe. You're going to be more like, oh, I had to put this piece of armor on, but I couldn't get the buckle done because my chest was so big. Like you're going to work it in so people can visualize without it being like, I'm standing in a mirror and my hair is brown and my eyes are brown and they're kind of like me. And I think that comes a lot, like I said, with fan fiction and then more amateur first-ish person writing. I wonder if he could have left that out.
He could have easily have left it out. It had zero impact on the story. It was unnecessary.
Just a physical description.
Absolutely unnecessary.
Amazing sci-fi book. Oh, okay. This is what she's recommending. The Children of Time.
Okay.
Amazing sci-fi book with dealing with first contact. Hey.
I did. Project Hail Mary. It was indeed my best book of 2021.
Okay.
So well, there's no wrong. What's the point?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to hijack that. And
no, that was a good. We need to have our conversations. See, I feel like talking about a book on like discussing, like when we were doing our indie reviews together, and I kind of dropped off on that. Yeah. I apologize, but I feel like this is a way more engaging presentation of it because it's like not static, but also having parts to bounce off of. So if anybody wants to jump on video and review books with me, I'm down with that.
I'm sorry if anybody has like been upset about how I'm talking about it. Like, I'm a stubborn person. I'm opinionated. I know this.
And I am the other side of the cancer. Very pragmatic.
I don't know if it's my cancer side that's doing that. That is this, but
I don't know.
I'm part Leo and part
We're both Cancer. We are not the same at all.
I think the other signs of mine affect me a lot. But
it is what it is. So how are we feeling? Like, do we want to do another sprint? Do we want to call it tonight and just read and make that a thing? I need to still figure out how to get my dog downstairs. And I think now that makes sense why he's been snappy. Not like snappy, but like Tundra will like lay closer to him and he's like, and I'm like, why are you jealous?
The babies.
You good in there? Betray you. You want to come say hi?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Blandis. Cute. Woo.
Oh, I should have put it in
yesterday's video.
I could have put it in the thing. All right, Snazzy wants another sprint, so we'll do one more sprint to round out the Creative Commons for tonight. Hopefully, I'll be able to hit that word count that I totally just.
I just tried to finish this.
I'm gonna check on the dogs first. So yeah, we'll do another sprint here.
I feel like I can't actually do any of my work on any of my goals until this spreadsheet is done. And I've got so much to do with it.
Right?
There's so much.
Creating the spreadsheet can become one of your personal accomplishments. Check.
Well, yeah, but it's not one of the 23 or 2023. Like, I can't work on those until this is done.
Mistake. It is ATREYU. Oops, that's I clicked on.
It's from the Never-Ending Story.
His full name is Atreus Maximus. He's a big boy.
Yeah, Atreus Maximus.
Yes. Give him a Greekish name.
Then Thunder.
Well, the newer God of War games, where it's more Norse mythology instead of the Greek mythology, the boy that goes with the guy, whose name eludes me, is named Atreus. And I was like, that's my boy.
Hey.
He grows up to be such a good lad. We love Atreus. Yes. We will talk about that after the sprint because that's a story.
I don't play much
we'll
at all.
Come back and talk about Robo Dinos and how big Forbidden West got. Nope, I've 100%ed Zero Dawn in the DLC. There he is. You feeling better? Forbidden West is kicking my butt though, but we'll talk about it. So let me put this banner up.
Okay.
Banner time. 20-minute sprint. Get stuff done. I ran out of drink, so drink for me, and let's do it. Let's round this night out. 3, 2, 1, go.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
On the Twisted Tales. So apparently there's 3 more after When You Wish Upon a Star so far? That will come out?
Their titles been released? Because I know it's, the last I've heard is When You Wish Upon a Star is the next one, and then they have contracted for 2 more. The next one I think is supposed to be a joint author.
It is. It's Jen Kelly and as well.
Farah Roshan.
And then another Farah Roshan, apparently.
Okay, I didn't hear about that one after it then.
Yep.
Well, I'm waiting.
But here's a weird thing I also discovered. Oh, graphic novel! That's why. Part of your world is getting a graphic novel.
That could be cool.
It's like it's coming up, but it was like by Stephanie Kate Strom, and I'm like, no, Liz Braswell wrote that. Oh, it's being adapted into graphic novel by Stephanie Kate Strom.
That could be cool.
Which is weird because I have other Stephanie Kate Strom books. I haven't read a single one yet, but I didn't know she was an artist as well. So that's interesting. Graphic novel for Twisted Tales now.
That's a good one to do because that is that is a very nice. I could picture it very visual.
I think most of them would be really good graphic novels. Reflection for sure. I'm sorry, the Underworld?
Visually.
The Underworld for Reflection would be great visually.
Straight On Till Morning would be great visually. Unbirthday would be
they're all animated. I think it's real easy to put them back into 2D.
But I think story-wise, the ones that would benefit from being illustrated is not all of them. Some of them are just like, you can picture it because it's not different from the movie. Okay, so back to Horizon. Tamama says, Zero Dawn is on my need to play list before buying any more games list. Yes, you do. Are you excited about the Burning Shores DLC? Not at the moment, and I'll say that only because I have not finished Forbidden West. It is a monster of a game. My husband's already completed it, but he put in so many hours. And while I enjoy having side quests, I've mentioned this I think earlier in the stream, I feel like the game put way too many elements into the not storyline parts, which the storyline seems, it goes throughout and it does things that I'm questioning. But with the time that I have to play games and the skill I need to play Horizon, it's a commitment. And I've literally said it has to be like the week I take off work, 3 of those days I can play Horizon and like just gun it, because I need to like refresh the gameplay, do as much as I can, and then I'll get burned out. So I have not finished Forbidden West yet, but I know where it goes. More Robo-Dinos, always Robo-Dinos. Just too many things. I don't care about cooking, gosh darn it. 33 minutes left of the audiobook for Snazzy and made laundry progress. Will there be a 2022 QWERTY Awards? I don't
Probably not this year.
Just because it takes a lot of people to get involved, and it's not always, easy for other people to do that.
I'm doing the vlogs, so I'll be like probably presenting like my bests and stuff during the January vlog. I don't think I'm going to be doing the award show this year. Yeah. It's too much.
If it was just like you and me, it'd be a thing, but it wouldn't be as...
Yeah. It's
really
not enough. As much as I love the people who do contribute, it's sometimes pulling teeth to get them to do the thing, and not everyone follows directions.
Yeah. So
it's a little difficult to compile it, and it's fine.
Yeah. Fennec's got their kitchen back where it can be used. It still needs a lot of work, but it's usable. It's usable. Bye. Thanks for joining. Have a good night. Nina did words. I also did words. I hit my goal for the day, so happy things, emotional scenes, all that stuff. Tamama's editing this video with just screenshots instead of redoing it for video capture, and this is going to be a project. Oh,
I wanted to show you the spreadsheet again, just to look at the Twisted Tales.
Bam!
It's so big.
Slow ba-bam. Yeah.
It's so big.
Water.
Whoa.
You need to
Oh, wait, I
all the
just
time.
realized.
I put it on your list. Why didn't you
This one.
really get it? Bow, bow, bow.
So there are 5 out that I haven't
That you
read
don't
yet.
have yet?
2 I don't. Yeah, there's two out that I haven't read yet. And
2 out that you don't
two,
own.
2 that I don't own. Yeah. Jesus. Something just, like,
It's one of my
crazy.
few collections. So,
But like, it's so big.
mhm.
Oh. Can you imagine?
I'm excited about rereading them, just because I think I'll pick up more than I did with the audiobooks on the ones that I did listen to. But
My only closed donut. I still
I'm
have
not really
1, 2,
looking forward to Mirror
3,
Mirror.
4, 5, 6.
Unfortunately.
6 more I gotta put in. I've got 6 more. Ugh. And then I can move on to other stuff. Thank you. Isn't it aesthetically pleasing to Mama? It's beautiful.
It is. It's satisfying, but it's also daunting.
Yeah. You're not even asked to read the stuff.
I mean, just having to be mentally present to put in all that information.
I mean, in the initial setup, yes. After it's set up, it's gonna be so easy.
Yeah. That's how it be, you know. So confirmed I cannot pick up my dog to take him downstairs. I mean, I can pick him up, but he will not stay still long enough for me to not hurt myself. Also
Sure.
stairs. So options are wait till Terry comes home, or build a sling.
I was just trying to imagine one of those like baby wrap things, but
That's
with a
exactly
train
what
in
I'm
it.
thinking. I'll grab the bed
That's a
sheet,
little difficult.
grab him in it, swaddle him, and just one step at a time. Like
You need
I have,
a tarp to swaddle him. He's so big.
that's what I said, a bed sheet.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah.
Nothing but a sheet. Yes, we're talking about you. I just feel so bad. Like I don't know how to like just make him better. Baby boy, you need to tell Mom when you're hurt.
Do
and
you have
stop
stuff to wrap
Stop
the
coming
hallway?
up the stairs when you guys don't want to go down the stairs. It's a simple concept.
Is it like his joint here?
I've massaged all up his arm and his shoulder, and he's not reacting to he's not acting like anything hurts.
What happens when he regularly walks? So when he just walks room to
He's
room?
walking fine. When he was downstairs the whole time, he was fine. Just like I said, he hasn't had like when we were on the walk and he saw other dogs, he would get his, uppity. But he wasn't doing his usual like play with me. Like just sitting there and very chill. So, kind of concerned enough, but I don't know what to do. Baby boy, can we just like sit and go down one step at a time? I'll do it with you. We'll do butt scoots. Butt scoots. Butt scoots. Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Just butt scoot down the stairs with him. The problem is more keeping him from not panicking because he is also scared boy of like random things. So tried that. We did the cheese, and he's usually like, you say the word cheese, he's not even perking up right now. So I tried cheese, tried their treats, tried to do the whole like there's a squirrel outside, who's at the door, like all the triggers. And like if you say, hey buddy, you want to take a walk, there's no reaction. So he's very gloomy right now. Are you okay, bud? Everybody in the world is concerned about you right now. Huh? Are you gonna be okay? Do we gotta swaddle butt scoot with you? Do we gotta do that? Is that what we're gonna do? We might try the swaddle butt scoot. You wanna try the swaddle butt scoot? Do you wanna go downstairs? Do you wanna go? You wanna go? Okay. We have to go downstairs though, okay? If we go downstairs, Mom will sleep downstairs with you and you don't have to come back upstairs, okay? You sound good? You sound like a plan? Yeah? Yeah? Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna figure this out. I'll let you guys know in the Discord if I make it down the stairs. And how much I hurt. Thanks, you just burped in my face. I just go downstairs and he'd want to be with me eventually and come down. That's what we thought would happen earlier, but apparently Terry had to carry him downstairs just to get him down. Like, he was just crying. So, wish me luck, guys. Currently studying alchemy in order to turn paperbacks into hardcovers.
I would love that.
That's
when you figure that out.
You need an equivalent exchange for that. So you need, like, you have to put the money on the paperback to make it a hardcover.
Also, to answer Paulie Vinny's question up there about why shouldn't dogs lick our faces. They don't actually have the cleanest of mouths. However, I don't care and I will let the dog lick my face.
I don't like feeling wetness on my face from, like, anything. Like, in a shower, it's one thing, or like when I purposely wash my face. But I don't like wet on my face. Like,
well, I don't like it, but they want to give me love and I will let them give me love. I will wipe it off later.
They can give me love in different ways. You can give me love by following me downstairs. Okay? Alright, we're gonna try. We're gonna do our bestest. We're gonna do our bestest. We're gonna do it because we are brave dog. We are secretly brave dog. If you can do that, then your paw is feeling fine, bud. Your paw is feeling fine. I don't know why you're being a badger about this. Huh? Why are you being a grumpy badger?
See, the real trick in figuring out what's going on with him is if it's a physical ailment or if this is a mental thing. And by doing the swaddling and getting him downstairs, will that make him now always make you do that? And essentially train
Mental
you to take him.
A trailer.
So
well,
there's two sides of this. That's why I'm like hesitant to do advice on this one because I'm like, oh.
There's no, like, one way or another, I have to get him down because if he does have to go outside, like, he needs to be downstairs for everything. And I initially did think he was just playing sympathy card because 2 days ago I had to carry Tundra down when she was
that's why it's like, I feel like
but it was 2 days ago and then he's been fine and now I'm like, baby boy, do you want to go take a walk? Would you want to take a walk? Can you come downstairs to take a walk? Can you do it? Are you gonna? Okay. Oh. Hi. Tongue to mouth too. Oh no, it's wet. Oh, help. No. Okay, if you're feeling this good, we can go down the stairs. Stop. No.
I love you, Mom.
Right in them. Okay, look, see, you're totally feeling fine. You're feeling fine. You made everybody so scared for you, and you're fine. You wanna go? We gotta go downstairs. You ready? Thing is, if he comes downstairs now, I have to take him outside. Yeah. I've made a promise.
You have made a promise.
And he sealed it with a kiss. Oh, I'm wet. Ugh. Ick. You wanna go? Okay. All right. Will you tell everybody goodbye? Okay. Well. Hey, baby. I'll let you know if he actually makes it. Okay. Heck,
Okay.
let's just give this a try, and if he's not serious, I'm gonna block it off before he can change his mind. So, Q, entertain the masses. Oh, on the joint.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Let's go. Let's go take a walk. Let's go. Let's go. Let's take a walk.
I won't be able to highlight any comments because I don't have control of the stream. So if you comment anything, I'll try to respond, but I won't be able to put it on the screen. I can't take that one off the screen. Yeah. So yeah, sasami katsu. Sasami katsu. I would like some sasami katsu. I'd like a lot of different katsus, to be fair. Yeah, I'm almost done making the journal. I've got a few more pages to fill in here, but we've got journal going. So, you know, I can have both a physical and a digital tracker. Fun stuff. Literally, my brain is just all
Guess
in
who
one
went
place.
downstairs?
You went downstairs?
Son of a bitch. And it's appropriate because he's a dog and his mom was a bitch. Okay, so crisis averted. No butt scoots and swaddling tonight. But
Perfect.
He's looking at me like, you said we going. So I'm going to take them on the quickest walk because it's out quiet and dark and stuff.
10:30 at night there, yeah. Cold.
Yeah. I'll put their little lights on, so it'll be. I'll text you.
Okay, text me.
All right. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week unless we do a pop up or have a different stream planned. I'm gonna go take care of baby boy and cool.
Bye.
Gotta hit the end button.
Bye. 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 Bye.
I'm
Bye. Bye.
coming.